See. Hi there. Welcome to my channel, Ride, Pray, Love, where we are all about uplifting, inspiring, and empowering you with the medicine of the horse, connecting with source and beyond. And I'm so excited that you have stopped by today. If you're new here, horse hugs, warm welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. So today, I am really excited to chat with you about a couple of things. I want to chat with you about this divine doorway that we are making our way through as we are in the home stretch of 2021. I want to talk about some of the cosmic vibes that are up right now. And I also want to share with you about a special dream, a very short one, but a dream that came through for me yesterday morning, I think it was. And, you know, an inspiration that I have to share with you moving forward. So I think I want to actually start with the dream, because it was very magical and special, and I love when my horses and my animals come to visit me in my dreams, and that's something that really didn't used to happen, but over the years, as my gifts have you know, come more and more online, they have really shown up more frequently in my dreams. And I think it was yesterday morning, I woke up to this dream, remembering seeing my horse, my beloved Indigo, who's a black Arabian gelding. He's my dream horse come true, and more on that story another time. But in the dream, he, you know, I kept seeing his back there, and it was as if I was, you know, at the level of the fences. Usually I just, you know, I like to sit on the side of the fence to, you know, to mount to get on his back. And anyway, and I typically ride bareback, bitless, and barefoot, him, not me. And so anyway, in the dream, he was just there, and I had this like real longing to, you know, to get on his back. And, you know, that was the energy of the dream that was coming through when I was, you know, in the dream. And it's interesting because I rode Monday, and I rode actually yesterday, and I rode today. I've ridden 3 days in a row right now for varying amounts of time, but it was interesting that it came through in my dream. But really, the energy and the message upon reflection and doing some meditation and journaling that wanted to come through, and, you know, I felt like it was a sign or a synchronicity, if you will, where I recently came across a message around the dark horse planet, which I'll talk to you about in a moment. But what really came through was that it was time for me, you know, to bring back and share some of the really sacred, rich symbolism, research, and even my own personal experience and intuitive hits that have come through in terms of what I like to call like the medicine of the dark horse, or the medicine, the magic and the mystery of the dark horse. Not only with my personal horse Indigo being a black horse, but just with the research, again, that I have done over the years in Native American teachings and Chinese medicine, you know, and more around how the color of the horse actually can bring in certain energies. And whether or not you have a horse or not, you know, even playing with these energies in the quantum, if you will, which is something that I love to do, and a lot of my work is done that way. When we play with these energies in the quantum, it can actually support and facilitate really magical healing and transformation and growth and more. And so I want to dive deeper into that topic with you on Friday. So this is a heads up and a little, you know, invite. And I am crossing my fingers as long as tech and everything goes well. planning to go live. So I'd love to have you join me if you feel called. The other piece I want to mention about the dark horse planet is, if you've tuned into my recent videos over the past week or so, I've been chatting a lot about Chiron, the sacred centaur, aka wounded healer archetype. And this archetype and the work that I had shared about the Chiron codes and all of that is based off of a celestial body. Some people call it a comet or an asteroid because it's too small to be a planet. Called Chiron. And I recently came across a new book on Chiron, which I've ordered and hasn't arrived yet, but the author, and I'm blanking on his name right now, refers to Chiron as the dark horse planet, or maybe it was in the intro, I can't remember. Anyway, there's a reference to Chiron as the dark horse planet. So like that came across my radar, and then the dream, and also this is the time of the year, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, right, where it's more the winter time. And if we are in tune with the season and the cycles of nature, even though things are kind of evolving and changing as a planet and collectively and all of that, but regardless, typically this is the time of the year that we are going to really be invited to slow down and tune in, to reflect, maybe even be that mama bear and go into the cave and hibernate, whatever it looks like for you. But there's definitely like a slowing down of the energy. And for me, I have really been feeling this, and I've definitely put the brakes on in terms of really allowing myself a bit more spaciousness for the self-care, the soul care, the reflection, and all of that. And so I want to invite you, if you're feeling that nudge as well, to like not judge it and know it's okay, and know that, if you are connected to nature and the rhythms and cycles of nature and Mother Earth and the sun and moon, the stars and all of that, it's going to be absolutely, normal to be feeling that, again, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you're not in the Northern Hemisphere and you're feeling it, that's okay too. Like honor and listen to your body, okay? So, I really was guided to just share about that and let you know that, again, on Friday, I will be going deeper into this topic that I want to call the dark horse medicine, magic, and mystery, and some of the rich symbolism and how we can use that both in the 3D, if you happen to have a black or dark horse, or, or not. Excuse me, and or just playing in the quantum field, okay? Because everything's energy anyway. Alrighty, so I was excited to share about that. And as I said, I wanted to also touch on some of the cosmic vibes that are going on right now that actually are supporting this, at a whole other level, in addition to it being winter and sort of like the dark half of the year, right? That time of reflection and going within. We're also making our way right now through a divine doorway, a 9-day portal or gateway that started on the 12th of December and is going to run through the 21st. And this is every year, this very special, sacred, galactic alignment takes place where our solar system actually lines up with that 0-point center, that 0-point potential of creation. And that is associated with, according to my notes, approximately 26 degrees Sagittarius. And of course, Sagittarius, who we've talked about, is is also the sacred centaur, just like Chiron, the wounded healer, symbolism, but the seeker of higher wisdom, truth, and freedom. And so those energies really can help us ignite our sacred vision, our truth, and also, beckon us to really let our life be the arrow, is what I like to say. Start lining up our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our behaviors, our actions, our vibrations with that vision, right? So that we can reach our soul's goals and, dreams, desires, destination, hopefully a little bit faster, and ideally with more ease and grace, right? That is the goal here, or the intention. So, and that's not to say, being on this human journey, there aren't going to be speed bumps and things along the way, right? So anyway, we are in this portal, which today's the 15th, so just started a couple days ago, 3 days ago. And the other really magical thing about this doorway is that because of this rare annual galactic alignment, my nose is starting to run, there are some really powerful, super waves of photons and light codes that are streaming in, because it's sort of like the floodgates are open, right? Christ consciousness, diamond light frequency, and more. And it's really supporting us on our ascension journey, on our, raising our consciousness and our awakening wherever we're at, along the way. And so this time period, when we allow ourselves to slow down and be with, ourselves, connect with our source, do the things to really align with our soul, and that soul care, that really spiritual practice, we can really not only more easily hear the whispers of our soul and the voice of God, but we can also more easily tap into our co-creative powers, because we are literally connecting with this 0 point potential. Okay, and so that, the spirit, the spiritual science, the energetics behind it are really not that important. Just know that this is a powerful portal of Christ consciousness, of powerful co-creation, of really accessing your higher powers, your superpowers, in partnership with Source, or the God of your understanding, to really begin co-creating your reality in a more powerful way. You're being deeply supported to do that, if that's something you desire to do, and you like playing in that field right now. It's like I said, it's like the gates are wide open. Okay, so really powerful. The other thing I want to mention is with the 12 number, the theme of the 12, okay, 12, first of all, reduces to the number 3. So that is also about, it's that sacred trinity of body, mind, and spirit, of integration, of co-creation in a nutshell, of, emotional and creativity, okay, and innovation. So bringing all of those energies in. We also have, if we look at the 12, like it's a 12th month of December, and the portal opened on the 12th, right? So there was a double 12 code, and 21 is actually a mirror image, like 1, 2, 2, 1 is a mirror of each other, right? 12 is a mirror of 21, if you look at the numbers. And so that is really, really powerful too, because that brings in not only the essence of duality and ultimately, creating oneness, but also that loving mirror. We've got, interestingly, on the 18th coming up, our full moon in Gemini, and the Gemini is associated with the lovers and tarot. And so there's this sacred union of the masculine and the feminine, both, individually and interpersonally, right? And collectively. And so this is a really powerful time this week, really, this week or couple of weeks as we're wrapping up the year, to really take some time to do some, deep soul reflection, even retrieval if you need to, renewal, really connect and reflect on this past year, and get honest with yourself, like what things didn't work out so great. I know so many of us had a lot of curveballs, myself included, right? What things didn't work out so great, and what did we learn? What were the gifts from those unexpected, plot twists and turns? And then what are your wins? Like, what are you celebrating about yourself? How have you grown? Have you grown stronger and more resilient, and maybe heightened your powers of intuition or discernment? Like, what are the gifts that you can celebrate, and celebrate your wins and give yourself that high five for, achieving and growing and expanding. So, really powerful time to do this, especially again with the final full moon of the year, right? Of really, shedding light on all of this and doing that releasing and purification of what no longer serves, so we don't carry it with us into the new year, right? So wanted to share that. I didn't mention also with the 12 too, we have with the numerology here, we have the activation of our 12 strand DNA. Now, according to some, there's junk DNA, but according to others who are more on the cutting edge, side of things, which is what I resonate with as a trailblazer myself, excuse me, there is an activation with all of these light codes and photon energy waves coming through and super waves of actually awakening and activating, the 12 strand DNA. So the previously thought junk DNA actually holds, wisdom and knowledge and power and, supernatural abilities and beyond, that can be awakened, as we remember who we are, as we reclaim our full divine natural abundance and inheritance. So that is really, really exciting. And so again, if you take nothing else away, more than any other lunation or eclipse or whatever, and they're all important, but really right now with this time of Christ consciousness and powerful opportunity for co-creating as you tap into this 0 point potential, I want to invite you to really just carve out some time for yourself to do some reflection, some journaling, some meditation, prayer, and whatever rituals you like to do. This is really a powerful time to do that. And, here where for me, even bringing in the medicine or the magic of the dark horse, that is like in that quantum field, like even the horses coming to me in my dreams, like my own horses, and like to me that is so magical. It is such a magical, what is the word I'm looking for? Just like this connection that's happening, in the quantum, right? I don't have any words for that, and I'm not sure where I was going with it, but suffice it to say, I really feel like, paying attention to any of the signs, synchronicities, and messages that are coming your way, and you're going to be able to better perceive and receive them, however you do, whether it's in your dreams or however, if you slow down, right? If you give yourself permission to slow down and do some self-care and soul care. So, really wanted to share that. And the last thing, and by the way, this is going to sound like a really weird thing to say, but I'm just noticing, because I'm going to be very transparent with you. I'm always very self-conscious about, I have, often have most of my life, or at least since vet school, I've often had baggy under my eyes, and, I usually put a concealer, and I, cut up an aloe leaf, and I do that to try to help with the puffiness. And because I'm so vain, we'll just be real here. Anyway, I recently got this really magical healing balm from this pharmacy in Hawaii. It's a Kauai pharmacy, and I'll leave the link down below because they sent me a thing to refer friends so that you can get 30% off, and then I get, I think, another chance to get 30% off or whatever. Anyway, just pass it on if it resonates. They have a really amazing products. I haven't tried them all, but this was one of the first ones I got, and I got the Noni spray, which I'm using with indigo, and we love it. But anyway, the healing balm, it doesn't say to use that, but for some reason I was drawn to actually put them on under here this morning, and I swear, and I didn't put any concealer like usually I do, and I am like so impressed at anyway. Okay, just a sidebar. I'm like, I can't believe like that I didn't put concealer or even the aloe or anything. I just used that beauty healing balm. I think it's called Healing Beauty Balm. I should have brought it with me. Well, I can go get it, but I don't want to waste your time. It's all the way in the other room. Anyway, I will leave the that link below if you're interested in checking out. They have some really cool herbal teas and spices, turmeric, and in Hawaii is actually very rich in terms of plant medicine. So for me, very magical vibes. I often say aloha, and I haven't been to Hawaii yet. Anyway, so that was just a sidebar, but the last thing I do want to say is that if you are feeling a little bit blue, like the holiday blues, I know this time of year can be a little, challenging for many of us, and I'm not immune. Okay, there's stuff that comes up for me too, and excuse me, as they say, new level, new devil. Like, even as much as I've worked on, the healing journey with my family stuff over the years, as my soul, as I evolve, on my soul's journey, right there, I have different, different values, different, truths, different core values, and that shifts my energetic boundaries and what feels okay and what doesn't feel okay, in terms of what feels aligned and how I want to be choosing to really, invest my energy. And anyway, like, and I don't want to get into a whole thing on mine, but what I'm trying to say is that if stuff is coming up for you, know that you're not alone. And I'm sharing vulnerably, not only about my eyes, but that I have stuff coming up for me too. And that it's okay for you to really, again, take that time, check in with your soul and your values and your truth and where you're at and what feels right for you. Of course, bringing in compassion and all of that, but balancing it. But I think so many of us can, especially if you're a recovering people pleaser like myself, you can tend to put others' feelings and expectations first, and really taking that time to slow down and check in with yourself. Like, what are your desires? What are your, needs, right? And how can you honor them in a way that is going to be obviously a win-win for everyone? And ultimately, when we are honoring ourselves, we are, that is a win-win for everyone. So anyway, with all that being said, I wanted you to know that you're not alone. And if you are, navigating some feelings, I wanted to just remind you, and if you haven't picked it up already, my BLISS-MAS Alchemy process, it's a free gift. It comes with 4 other high vibe tracks that are all to help with shifting and lifting your vibration, helping you find your center, and peace, to be the eye in the calm of the storm, and more. And so this BLISS-MAS Alchemy, is really right now, timely. I wanted to make sure you knew about it if you were feeling some stuff and you want an energetic process to help you navigate some of that. that is there. And it also, again, comes with it's in a bundle of 5 high vibe tracks, and it's a free gift just for signing up to being part of my email tribe list. And today, that was the last thing I keep forgetting to say. Today is the 15th at the time of recording this. And so 15 in numerology is all about alchemy. And so it really is a magical number of, taking that base led, issue, problem, emotion, stuck energy, whatever that is, pain, trauma, and then alchemizing it, transmuting it, sculpting, rearranging it, and turning it into gold. And, along that lines, like a message that really wants to come through right now from Spirit is that if you have been, if you've been like trying to manifest something and you feel like your prayers haven't been answered, or you're wondering why things are taking so long, what Spirit wants me to say to you is that, first of all, you're not forgotten, and that really God, Spirit, the universe, is actually preparing and purifying you to become a vibrational match for that thing. So, it's kind of like the lottery, classic example of the lottery winner who wins all this money and then blows it all and then is like broke again within a year, right? It's like sometimes it takes more courage for us to receive something that is new and that we're even desiring and praying for, than to actually stay in this safe, familiar place of perhaps even discomfort or unfulfillment or soul sucking or whatever that may be, right? Sometimes that new thing, as much as we say we want it and we desire it, can be actually a scary thing for us to let in. Like, we really need to feel safe allowing ourselves to have it. So if you haven't received something yet, if you have been praying, for some kind of manifestation, and you're getting discouraged, the message is to not give up hope and to know and trust and believe with every ounce of your soul that, your desire is divine, your prayers have been heard, and it's already done. It's just that God is trying to get you and your human self and your 3D self prepared, purified, cleansed, in alignment with that thing, so you can actually hold it, so you can actually receive it. And, and that process is molding you and sculpting you so you become that vibrational match. So whatever potential challenge or disappointment or worry or whatever you might be going through now, know that that is actually preparing you for your prayers to be answered, preparing you for your desires. And I hope that that shift in perspective can give you more hope and faith and strengthen your faith and your trust that that ultimately the universe, God, is actually conspiring in your favor, and that everything is actually being worked out for you and your highest good. And the other piece that I want to bring in around like Spirit's rejection is sometimes our protection. It's like that song, Garth Brooks, I think it's Garth Brooks, Unanswered Prayers, right? Sometimes when we don't get what we desire, either maybe we don't get it yet, or it's not in the time frame that we want it, right? There's actually a gift in there, and we're actually being, in a way we may not realize, being protected on some level from something that potentially could be worse. So to really trust, that it is all for the highest good. So I hope that makes sense. And that, and the sidebar, another one more message wants to come through is that no, please know in your heart of hearts, from my heart of hearts, please know that you are worthy and deserving of everything you desire. And you know, there is always this balance of, of aligned action and the inner game, right? And, I'm feeling called to bring this in because sometimes I think there's this misunderstanding or perception. And I know, I used to be someone who on this side, which is why I think it wants to come through, where, a lot of spiritual, communities, like we feel that, we need to just wait and pray and meditate and it's going to happen. And while the inner work is very important, it doesn't happen without some sort of aligned action. So there's got to be a balance, and every situation is going to be different depending on where you're at on the journey. But if we do want to manifest in the 3D, some sort of action needs to be taken. And it doesn't mean hustle. It doesn't mean we need to work ourselves to our bone, right? That's like, another, this is a bigger conversation than I meant to get into here, but really, I just wanted to put like that disclaimer that we do need to take action. We can't just sit around and pray and meditate and hope and wait that, our manifestations and desires are simply going to, fall out of the sky. Although if you've had that happen, please share with us how, and, I'd love to hear. However, in my experience thus far, as magical as I am and as much as I've had many magical manifesting experiences, and I will actually share a little bit more about that, about Indy when we talk about the on Friday's conversation about the dark horse, because he's my dream horse come true. So I'll share with you about that. But one of my favorite manifesting stories. But, really at the end of the day, as far as I understand and experience from myself, from those I've worked with, and my coaches and guides and mentors, is there, we do need to take some aligned action. So that was just a little disclaimer that wanted to come through. However, if you have taken action and you've been doing all the things and you're getting discouraged, I really want to say here, and Spirit wants me to say, to know that, you have not been forgotten and you are simply being prepared to receive that thing. Okay. I hope that makes sense. So let me know down below. I can't wait to connect with you on Friday, and I hope you're having the most magical day. Thank you so much for hitting the like, share, subscribe along the way to support my channel and get your energetic vibe in the vortex. I love you, and namaste. Ciao for now.